The story begins with a vision of a young man being killed by his lover's lover and drowning in the middle of a cold stream of water. Jiang Yuanzhong, you have truly lived more than 30 years in vain. You were obsessed with research, working overtime every day for projects, and dedicating everything to research. But in the end, the project and your girlfriend were both taken away by someone else. Now even your life is threatened. You were stabbed to death. It's truly heartbreaking. How much do you think I should hate? On the contrary, it's not that I can't hate anymore. I don't want to be caught up in that vortex. Goodbye, this boring world. Suddenly, a blue light appeared in the middle of his chest. I made him extremely surprised and panicked. What just entered my body? His body turned into a series of matrix animations and gradually disappeared. What happened? What happened to my body? A system notification and series of technological data immediately appeared in his mind, connected to the host's brainwaves. Jiang Nguyen suddenly woke up, his eyes wide open in panic. Now he has a completely new body with ancient costume. In front of him now was an ancient palace filled with gloomy atmosphere. Right after that, he put his hand on his chest. His face was a bit panicked. I'm clearly dead, but what is this pain piercing my heart? He reached in to feel and check his body, and then breathed a sigh of relief. Luckily, there are no parts on my body. He was in the Demon Lord's palace of a world he had just crossed over to. Then, Nguyen Trung stood up his hand, touching his leg, a bit tired and confused. I thought I was going to die again. Oh my gosh, my old waist. Suddenly, the notification rang out, making him extremely surprised. The host expressed his disgust, received a system coin. Hearing the sound coming from behind, Nguyen Trung suddenly raised his hand to hit his back with a panicked expression. What the hell is that? After swinging his arm, Nguyen Trung accidentally knocked away the notification status bar. Seeing the situation just now, Nguyen Trung opened his mouth wide in surprise, then looked at his hands with a panicked expression. What did I just do? The system notification rang again, followed by the appearance of a mascot. The host is rewarded with 4 system coins when destroying objects. This system is called Cat. It likes to guide the host to die the most. The strongest villain AI system, System King. Nguyen Trung looked blankly at the system mascot in front of him. What is a system? What else is a system? No, what system? I didn't write this program. Am I dreaming? Am I not dead? Cat now laughed excitedly with a sinister expression. Heh, I am the system who is the villain, Cat. You are not dreaming. You have already become the host of my strongest villain system. As long as you fight against the main character of this world, become the strongest villain of this system. Lead the demon world to confront the human world and complete the main line. Then you can get a large amount of system coins and can return to the original world. To defend is very simple. Just do it once and you will quickly become the strongest existence in this world, and everything in the world will be under your control. When you and I become the strongest villains, continue to do evil and complete the tasks of the villain world even more. There will be countless wealth and countless beauties to choose from. You can experience all the pleasures in this world. It's just that you can't think of anything. There's nothing you can't do. Hey host, are you listening to me? Nguyen Trung was a bit sulky and was staring forward thinking, where did the error come from? Why is this system so troublesome? When I was alive, I was 996. Even after I die, you still want me to follow some system so that I can become a ghost lord. Let me continue to spin. Nguyen Trung immediately refused and pushed the system mascot aside. Okay, I know. I have no interest in being a demon lord. Go find someone else. Cat stared blankly at Nguyen Trung. What do you mean? What do you mean, find someone else? I've encountered many things with many hosts. This is the first time I've encountered this. Cat reached out with a bewildered expression and said loudly, No, you probably forgot. I came to help you remember. In the past, you were a genius scholar. At the age of 27, you entered Binduong Unique Academy, and within just 5 years, you successfully developed a consciousness penetration technology that can completely integrate human consciousness into the system. Moreover, it can create almost endless micro-worlds within the system. Do you know how shocking it will be once the results of your unique research are published? Yes, you also have a very beautiful girlfriend. You should have a very happy life with unlimited possibilities, but was broken by someone. He stole your girlfriend and stole the fruits of your labor. He even killed you. Maybe he was hugging your girlfriend and laughing at you for being a useless person. Take the fruits of your research to enjoy all that belongs to you, the pain that you felt when entering the system, only a fraction of the pain I simulated when you died. Don't you hate him? Don't you want to go back to the original world to take revenge? Come here and take revenge on this world with me, easy and happy. Come on, hurry up and say yes. Nguyen Trung raised his hand to cover his mouth and whispered to Cat, "Cat, do you think that maybe the hardware couldn't keep up with the code running at that time? If not, how can we explain it now? I just want to say that my code can't be wrong. I just blame that hardware lot. I already told him to change it." Cat was extremely angry. "You treated the words I said just now like air. I said a bunch of things like that, but you didn't hear a single word of it." Nguyen Trung gestured with a happy expression. "We skipped most of it during the listening process, and only heard a small part." Cat was provoked and immediately gritted his teeth with a crazy expression. "So is it because you did it on purpose, or were you careless?" Nguyen Trung showed a provocative expression and looked at Cat. "I did it on purpose." Cat was so angry that she spat out all the mucus in her body and was helpless. "This idiot is really stupid." Suddenly the door in the middle of the main hall began to gradually open. A figure of a female ghost entered with a cold and powerful aura. This is Long Tai Nguyet's subordinate, the Demon Lord's close aide with a seductive appearance and a powerful aura of ice. She walked step by step towards Nguyen Trung. Cat now covered his mouth and whispered into Nguyen Trung's ear, making him confused. "Don't think about this anymore, but even if the host wants to play dirty, he can't escape the main story. The villain is the master of fate. The main fate of the Lord Cut must go first." Nguyen Trung stared blankly forward, his whole body trembling, as he stared at Long Nguyet Tai. "The momentum is so strong that my legs are weak and I can't move." Long Tai Nguyet was still gradually approaching Jiang Nguyen Trung. As soon as she approached, she immediately pressed her face close to Nguyen Trung's in a panic. "Master, are you okay? Is there an enemy sneak attack? Why is a piece of the throne missing? Tai Nguyet will not allow anything to harm Master." Nguyen Trung looked extremely panicked and stared at her. "Tai Nguyet, I'm fine. Just now my hand was slippery, so I accidentally dropped a piece." Long Tai Nguyet showed an embarrassed expression and looked at Nguyen Trung attentively. "I was rude." In the situation just now, Nguyen Trung was sweating profusely and thought to himself, "I almost thought I was going to be killed. Luckily the system said I couldn't escape the main line of this world. That means I have to complete the main line of this world. Why don't I explore the situation of this world line first?" Nguyen Trung regained his dignity and raised his hand to signal his eyes staring at Tai Nguyet. "What's the current situation?" Long Tai Nguyet bowed and saluted. "The demon army led by you has wiped out 3 of the 5 human kingdoms. Only 2 kingdoms remain, Lam Kwok and An Kwok. The final general attack of the demon army has also been assembled. Only waiting for your command, the entire human world can be wiped out." Seeing Tai Nguyet's tone, Nguyen Trung's expression gradually became confused, using such a calm tone to talk about wiping out the human race. "Is this the demon race?" Cat appeared again and whispered in Nguyen Trung's ear, describing the vision of this world. "By you, oh no, to be exact, by this demon king, the 3 kingdoms that were destroyed were the 3 kingdoms of Jianghan and Yuan. The human race only had 2 kingdoms left, which were Lin and An. You just need to give the order the human race will be completely destroyed, and you will receive a large amount of system coins. That way you can quickly return to the real world to take revenge in a peaceful and happy way. Don't you want that? Don't you want revenge on that dog couple? Come on, it's easy, just give the order." Nguyen Trung immediately turned back to look at Cat with a face full of contempt for the opponent. "I refuse." Cat angrily clenched his fist and shouted, "Why don't you have any hatred in your heart? Don't you have any desire for revenge? Do you know what you will get if you complete the mission?" Nguyen Trung again showed a provocative and teasing expression. "You're too impatient." Cat was angry and didn't know what to say to please him. Nguyen Trung tilted his chin, his face full of excitement, and looked at Tai Nguyet attentively. "What do you think of my strength? Is there anyone in this world who can kill me?" Tai Nguyet respectfully saluted. "There can't be such a person in this world, even if it's the 3 great cadres of the demon race, or the strongest person of the human race. Even if they combine, it would only cost you a little bit of effort, and even if there were, we would kill it while it was still in its cradle. We won't allow anything to threaten our master." Nguyen Trung stared at Tai Nguyet with extremely cold eyes. "So what?" Then he turned his eyes to Cat. "So how long is the time limit to complete the main quest?" Cat showed a confused expression and replied to Nguyen Trung, "There is no time limit." After hearing that, Nguyen Trung put his hands on his thighs and looked excited. Then he raised his hand and shouted loudly, "Quickly go and summon all the demon cadres for me." Tai Nguyet was a bit confused. "Master, what do you want to do?" Nguyen Trung stood firmly with his hands at his waist with an excited expression. "I want to abdicate." As soon as they heard Cat and Tai Nguyet showed a bewildered and panicked expression. "What?" Nguyen Trung continued to sit on the throne. "Don't you want to become a demon lord? The strongest villains are those 3 demon cadres. What other reason do I have to do it? Wait until I find a subordinate to replace me as the Demon Lord, then I can rest assured and retire in this world of villain systems. Cat now also said to Nguyen Trung, save me. What kind of heaven-defying host have I encountered? Tai Nguyet looked at Nguyen Trung with a worried expression. But before she could finish her sentence, Nguyen Trung reached out to interrupt her. Don't need to say more. You go and give the order first. Oh, that's right. Tai Nguyet was extremely confused and worried, looking attentively at Nguyen Trung. Hearing this, Cat immediately showed an eager expression. Has the host changed his mind and wants to do something important? Nguyen Trung happily pointed and said loudly with an excited expression, get me a bucket of water to wash my feet. Remember, it must be hot water. Cat heard and immediately thought he was going to turn to stone. Angrily looked at Nguyen Trung and cursed, are you mistaken? You have a top-level system like me, and you want to do such a thing. Nguyen Trung gave a thumbs up in disgust. How high is the level? Can you immediately conjure up a hot water basin to wash your feet? It's better to let someone else do it instead. Ignoring Cat's words, Nguyen Trung waved his hand to dismiss her for a pitiful system that can't experience the happiness of soaking feet. Like you, I'm too lazy to argue. In just a few seconds, Tai Nguyet had prepared a basin of hot water and brought it in front of Nguyen Trung. Master, your foot-washing water is here. Immediately after that, Nguyen Trung showed a satisfied expression, put his foot forward. So help me wash it. Hearing Nguyen Trung Tai Nguyet's words, her face showed great surprise. Master is asking me to wash Master's feet. I have received such a special honor. Tai Nguyet sat down on the ground with a shy look, satisfied that in this life I have no more regrets. Tai Nguyet immediately grabbed Nguyen Trung's leg, extremely gently. Master! Tai Nguyet hugged Nguyen Trung's feet, her face extremely shy. Master's feet are so big and strong. As expected of the Lord, even his feet can tremble like this. Tai Nguyet gently reached out to touch Nguyen Trung's foot, then revealed a feeling of enjoyment, as if feeling satisfied pleasure. Nguyen Trung sat on the throne and began to ponder, why is the technique of this second female massage therapist so strange? Nguyen Trung suddenly looked back at reality and forgot. Wait, isn't the person who washed my feet Long Tai Nguyet? Tai Nguyet now pressed her face close to Nguyen Trung's feet with a shy expression. Seeing Long Tai Nguyet's expression and actions, Nguyen Trung was a bit confused. I suggest you still don't lick my feet. Hearing Nguyen Trung say those words, Tai Nguyet's face became extremely shy. Her cheeks flushed red. Then she waved her hand with a confused look. No, I didn't mean that. I'm not what you think. Nguyen Trung then raised his hand to signal, okay, thanks for your hard work. Go back first. Long Tai Nguyet was extremely embarrassed and ashamed at this moment, quickly covering her face and turning around to run away. Cat next to her covered her mouth and teased her. You can't do that, can you? Nguyen Trung immediately spat out a huge mouthful of saliva and glanced at Cat. The next second, he raised his middle finger in anger. You can't do it! Your whole family can't do it! Cat pointed at Nguyen Trung and continued, so such a big dragon is still doing this and that to your leg. Both of you are so close to each other, but you don't have any reaction. Nguyen Trung looked forward with a hateful expression. So what, I don't need such desires. At this moment, a subordinate named Evil Snake ran in to report. He was the leader of 3 generals under the Demon Lord and had the ambition to rebel. As long as there was a suitable opportunity, he would occupy it. One side reported Uisha Lord Xue Liego Lord. This guy is Xue Liego, one of the 3 great generals under the Demon Lord, who follows the wind. Together with Lord Yan Hong, they led a large army to pay their respects. This is Yan Hong, one of the 3 great generals under the Devil Lord. He is made of lava. Mortals just need to touch it to turn into dust. The 3 of them gathered together and marched towards the Demon Lord's palace. Long Tai Nguyet came to stand beside Nguyen Trung and bowed respectfully. My lord, the entire army has been summoned. Nguyen Trung stared at his subordinates and thought to himself, the main line has begun. I didn't expect that within just a few hours, elites from all over the world would come running here from all over. With such cohesion and such execution, the human race would have to win unless there really was someone called the Son of the Dimension named Liu Xiu. My retirement plan. The demon cadres knelt before Nguyen Trung, deep in thought and worried. Evil Snake showed a bewildered expression covered in sweat, looking at Nguyen Trung and thinking to himself, I just had the idea of rebelling against the Demon Lord. But when I was about to carry it out, I received an urgent summons. Perhaps the Demon Lord had already planned to use me to kill the chicken to scare the monkey. If not, his pressure would be so powerful. That's right, Nguyen Trung really didn't care about how terrifying the demonic pressure that was spreading out was. Even though everyone outside the palace was the elite of the demon world, there were still some people who were so scared that they almost fainted. Xue Liegu was now glancing at the old man Evil Snake and thinking, This old man has indeed expressed his intention to rebel against me. Although I have not agreed, I have not reported it to the Demon Lord. Has the Demon Lord already discovered it and punished me and this old snake for the same crime? Now I beg the Demon Lord, I wonder if it is still too late. While the Jueliego and the evil snake were looking at each other and thinking Yan Hong now had an excited expression. This time I'll be the first to go. Let's see who dares to laugh. I'm still a blockhead. Nguyen Trung sat on the throne staring down at his demon subordinates. It's been hard on the generals who were urgently summoned. To compensate tomorrow until the weekend, you will have 3 days off. The entire group of leaders were still bewildered and did not understand what was going on, looking intently at Nguyen Trung. Outside the palace, the little demons looked at each other in confusion and discussed, "What is a weekend? Do you know what a break is?" "I'm not sure if it's some new weapon that the Demon King just created." Nguyen Trung raised his hand and gestured. "Don't you all know what a weekend is? Don't you know what a break is?" Long Tai Nguyet shook his head with a thoughtful expression. "So how many hours do you work a day?" "How many hours do you work a day?" Long Tai Nguyet bowed respectfully. "People in the Demon Palace usually have to work until midnight. If there is a large-scale event, working all night is normal. It is possible to risk one's life for the great Demon Lord. It is our honor and wisdom." After hearing that, Nguyen Trung was a bit confused. He stared at Long Tai Nguyet. "This is too much." Cat Cat, standing next to him, continued Nguyen Trung's words. "Too awesome, right? With such tireless labor, why not conquer the world?" Nguyen Trung clenched his fists and shouted, "This is so inhuman. Are we demons an evil capitalist enterprise? How can we oppress workers like this? I thought Binduong Industrial Park was scary enough, but this place is even scarier. No, I can't take it anymore. Before I abdicate, I have to do one thing." Nguyen Trung immediately took out a loudspeaker and turned up the volume. "Next, I will announce a new rule. From now on, out of 7 days, there will only be 4 days of work. The remaining 3 days are for your free entertainment and rest, not counting holidays or make-up days." Hearing Nguyen Trung's words, the Demon Clan people were confused, not knowing what Nguyen Trung had just said. What exactly is the Demon Lord saying? So is this a new trick as expected of the Great Devil? The evil snake was extremely confused at this moment. Is this reducing the combat capability of our soldiers, sharpening the sword? The devil is really full of tricks. Shuligo, standing beside him, was also sweating profusely, looking worried. Is this Demon Lord weakening the strength of the generals outside? He really found something out. Or should I kneel down and lick his thick lips now? Yan Hong still foolishly smiled excitedly in his heart. I didn't expect him to be able to play like that. He's really amazing. The little demons outside showed extremely happy expressions. Is the Demon Lord afraid that we will have a hard time? This is something I have never heard of before. I didn't expect that we would have time to do our own work. The Demon Lord is truly a wise and benevolent monarch. And Nguyen Trung continued to use the loudspeaker to loudly say, "As far as I know, they may have weapons capable of large-scale destruction to destroy us together." After speaking, Nguyen Trung showed a satisfied expression with the thought in his heart. Primitive demon race, feel the charm of nuclear deterrence. The demon lords and little demons outside heard this and were extremely impressed. What does the human race still have something so powerful? Fortunately, the demon lord sees everything clearly. The demon lord is truly calculating. The half-believing and half-doubting evil snake stared at Nguyen Trung. Is there such a terrifying thing in the human race? I have never heard of it on the front lines. The spies on the front lines have never had such intelligence. How could the great demon lord know about it? Shuligo's face was full of sweat. The Demon Lord's underground base has been distributed to this extent. Sure enough, the old snake's plan has long been exposed. I must immediately go lick the Demon Lord's shoes. Old snake, don't blame me. It's all because the Demon Lord is truly unfathomable. Yan Hong still stupidly touched his lava body. I wonder if I can block that attack. Nguyen Trung then continued to speak loudly through the loudspeaker. The second thing I want to say is I want to abdicate. After hearing Nguyen Trung's words, the demon leaders opened their mouths in surprise and their whole bodies stiffened. Long Tai Nguyet stood beside him with a face full of sweat from worry. Cat Cat opened her mouth wide and stared at Nguyen Trung with wide open eyes. What the hell? Immediately after that, all of Nguyen Trung's subordinates shouted in unison, Lord Demon, it cannot be done. Lord Demon, please think carefully. Nguyen Trung put on a very serious face and looked towards the demon clansmen. My decision has been made. I also know that the demon clan cannot be without a leader one day. Don't I still have the 3 great cadres? I will let them perform the ceremony, then choose who can inherit the demon lord and become the new demon lord. Immediately after, Nguyen Trung stomped his feet and jumped in front of the 3 great Ma clan officials. The name of the ceremony is Rock, Paper, Scissors. Nguyen Trung also stood up to explain the rules himself. The rules are like this and like that. Shuligo carefully observed Nguyen Trung's appearance. What's so good about being a demon lord? It's just a title. I don't want to compete for the position that my lord has asked to withdraw. Inwardly, Zhuge Liego was thinking, right now I just need to flatter the great demon lord, as if sitting on the demon lord's position will be able to defeat this current demon lord. Nguyen Trung stared at the two remaining leaders. Well, then choose between the two remaining generals. Nguyen Trung secretly understood the meaning of the Zhuge Liego. He is really not bad. This dog really has a conscience. It seems like this pot cannot be poured on you. Immediately after that, the two remaining generals began to fight each other under the rock-paper-scissors ritual. Yan Hong-I will definitely use rock. Nguyen Trung stood beside him frowning and staring at the evil snake. This snake knows people are stupid. You still deceive people. The snake official smiled sinisterly, staring at Yan Hong in front of him. This ritual seems simple, but it tests your psychology and logic. This game, I will definitely win. Rock, paper, scissors. Evil Snake smugly clenched his hand and thought to himself, you'll think I'm deliberately playing you with scissors, but I'll still play rock. Ha ha ha. It's all your fault, so don't blame me. Finally, according to the rock, paper, scissors ritual, Yan Hong showed his paper and Evil Zha showed his hammer. The Evil Zha also had to stand their mouth agape because of his own stupidity. Based on the ritual, Nguyen Trung raised Yan Hong's arm high and announced, I declare that from now on, Yan Hong will be the successor of the Demon Lord. Looking at evil snake Nguyen Trung's stupid appearance, he secretly laughed in his heart. Ha ha ha, you think I'm stupid and then make fun of me. Didn't expect it, right? Didn't expect it to be so unaffected. The little demons outside were extremely curious and attentively looked at Nguyen Trung's appearance and said, do you know why the Demon Lord is in such a hurry to abdicate? I don't know either. I'm still curious why our powerful Demon Lord wants to abdicate so quickly. Have you forgotten the Demon Lord once said that the human race has weapons that can converge endlessly with us? Perhaps the Demon Lord wants to test it with his own body. That might be true, so the Demon Lord said he abdicated, but in reality it was a mandate. After a while of discussion, the little demons raised their hands and shouted excitedly, the Demon Lord is mighty and wise. The Demon Lord is holy and wise. Suddenly the system's voice rang out announcing, the Great Demon Clan's Great Shocked Star General received 70 system coins. Nguyen Trung angrily gritted his teeth and glanced at Cat. Cat, what are you doing? Really in such a hurry? You can't just give out coins randomly like that. Evil Snake immediately stepped forward, clasped his hands in a respectful salute, looking confused. The Demon Lord definitely cannot abdicate. Nguyen Trung immediately showed a bullet-shaped gaze staring at the Evil Snake. Why? The Evil Snake was now afraid, but its hands were still tightly held, showing respect. There are still two hidden dangers in the demon race. If the Demon Lord abdicates at this time, I'm afraid the demon race will be in chaos. Nguyen Trung glared angrily at the Evil Snake with a very scary look. Oh, so tell me what's going on. The Evil Snake began to speak of the potential danger ahead. In the territory under my control, there is a magic stone that constantly emits magic power. As long as normal demons come near, they will be corroded by the magic power. Nguyen Trung looked puzzled, covered his mouth with his hand, and whispered to Cat, where did this thing come from? Cat relied on the pre-programmed system. This thing was originally used by the original Demon King to temper his body. As for why it turned out like this, perhaps the original Demon Lord was tempering his body and left behind a few traces of his own demonic energy. This thing will continuously grow on the Demon Stone. Nguyen Trung heard and clenched his fists, looking angry. So you want me to wipe his butt? Cat raised his hand and showed a contemptuous smile. That's right. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to hold it in anymore. I hate not being able to enjoy his wealth and beautiful women. I feel so guilty towards myself. Nguyen Trung again showed a majestic appearance and the light of truth. I don't. Right now, wipe his ass twice. Who knows how much mess he will leave behind for me. Run as soon as possible. That is the truth. After a while, Nguyen Trung ordered Evil Snake to take him there. Quickly take me there and see. The scene changes to the Evil Snake territory. Nguyen Trung was also led by the snake to the place where the potential danger occurred. In front is the magic stone emitting a stream of magical power with a strong and intense aura. Longtime Nguyet tried to observe carefully everywhere, cannot let it get close to the Lord. In the blink of an eye, Longtime Nguyet used her divine energy to create countless ice souls to suppress the demon stone in front of her. Nguyen Trung stood by the side, watching attentively and clapping his hands in admiration. Our Tai Nguyet is so good. Tai Nguyet shyly said, it's the right thing to do, Your Majesty. The evil snake stood to one side, pensively observing the front. Although I know that being a close guard of a demon lord won't be simple, this ability is truly too terrifying and makes me surprised. Xu Ligo, standing beside, looked at Kai Yue's appearance and was extremely impressed. Tusk, how does it feel to lick a woman's pussy? Yan Hong, with his stupid temperament, stared forward. Wow, so handsome. Long Tai Nguyet was now shyly standing beside Nguyen Trung. Lord Demon, Lord Tai Nguyet can only temporarily suppress it like this. How to do it in the future still needs Demon Lord's instructions. Nguyen Trung attentively observed the front, raised his hand to his chin, and pondered, why don't I try? After all, it's nourished by my demonic energy. Maybe it's harmless to me. If not, then just run away. Nguyen Trung then stepped forward and signaled Long Tai Nguyet, you just wait behind. I'll go inside and take a look myself. Long Tai Nguyet was surprised by Nguyen Trung's actions and reached out her hand to exclaim. As expected of the Lord, his body is extremely strong. Nguyen Trung immediately passed through the barrier and attentively observed the problem inside. See if what I said is right. I don't feel anything. This thing probably won't harm me. Nguyen Trung Lahakchia looked at the demon stone and analyzed attentively. The energy released by this demon stone will be a disaster, no matter where it is placed. But since the former demon lord placed it here, there must be something different from it. While observing attentively, Nguyen Trung whispered to Cat Cat, is there a pond nearby? Cat Cat blankly responded to Nguyen Trung's question, there isn't a pond, but there is an icy area. Nguyen Trung's eyes lit up as if he had recognized something. It's you. Nothing can stop me from retiring. Next, Nguyen Trung reached out to touch the magic stone that was emitting a terrifying, magical energy in front of him. Suddenly he felt a painful sensation coming from the magic stone. His face was covered in sweat, and he looked panicked. Nguyen Trung continued to endure the pain, holding the magic stone in both hands and running forward. Too hot. Too hot. In a short time, Nguyen Trung ran to the frozen land and threw the magic stone onto the ice with all his might. In the blink of an eye, the ice surface was gradually melted by the magic stone and its heat. The Demon General and Long Tai Nguyet also hurriedly ran over at this time. Demon Lord, are you still okay? Nguyen Trung happily wiped away the sweat on his forehead with an amused expression. Then he put his hand in the water and glanced at his generals. No need to worry too much. Just as I expected, the temperature is just right. Xueliego also hurriedly reached out to touch the water surface to check. This is indeed the hot spring in the frozen land. Maybe the energy of the demon stone is also the demonic energy that we can absorb. Long Tai Nguyet clasped her hands respectfully with an expression of great admiration. As expected of the great demon lord, who considered things so carefully, Tai Nguyet, I bow in admiration. Nguyen Trung immediately came up with an idea and raised his hand to indicate, that's right, say it like that. Right now we are on vacation, why not turn this place into a hot spring center? After completing the mission, we can come here to rest and relax. With a happy and satisfied expression, Nguyen Trung raised his hand and shouted, even the entertainment venues have been completed. A conscientious management system should be like this. The demon generals at this moment bowed in admiration and respect. The wise demon lord. Evil Snake immediately asked his question. So when do we start? Nguyen Trung thoughtfully made his decision. Choosing a day is not as good as meeting the day. Let's start right now. In a flash, Nguyen Trung's face was extremely bewildered. He frowned and glanced around. The hot spring center was now surrounded by countless female demons. Master Demon, please bathe with us this first time. How could the first time be without Master Demon? That's right. If it's the first time without Master Demon, it would be too boring. Nguyen Trung was now being pushed in the face by the group of female demons with his giant breasts, so he looked angry. Where did you come from, female demon? Let me go. He, stay with us. Quickly tear off your clothes and give him some oil. At this time, outside, Tai Nguyet was extremely angry when witnessing the scene of the demoness surrounding Nguyen Trung. She immediately used her power and a destructive voice to shout, who gave you permission to touch my great demon lord? Tai Nguyet simultaneously rushed towards Nguyen Trung. Demon Lord Tai Nguyet has come to save you. Nguyen Trung flew backwards in a flash. A beam of golden light shined in front of the demons. In just a few short seconds, Nguyen Trung had put on the Tang monk's clothes, clasped his hands, turned the rosary, and chanted sutras. Sitting on the golden lotus platform next to him was the bright halo of Buddha's light. Tai Nguyet Bantang. Oh no, I'm fine. But in just a few seconds, Nguyen Trung was helpless as the demons tore off his Tang monk's clothes. In a short time, he was tortured from head to toe by the demons with musical instruments, such as trumpets and flutes. Long Tai Nguyet raised her hand to cover her face. Tien stood step by step in front of Nguyen Trung. Master your holy body. At this moment, Nguyen Trung suddenly discovered that a person with bad intentions was approaching. That was Yan Hong. He wanted to personally stroke the pillar to change Nguyen Trung's clothes. How could the great demon lord train such a strong body? I want to touch it to feel it. Our master will help you change your clothes. Seeing Yan Hong's perverted appearance in front of him, Nguyen Trung started to panic. Fuck, don't come here. Can anyone help me? In the blink of an eye, Nguyen Trung had changed into a completely new set of clothes. I changed my clothes myself. Is there anything else you need me to solve? The evil snake continued to speak of the next potential danger. Yes, Lord Demon. Next is the problem in Xueligo's territory. Does Lord Demon need to rest for a bit? Nguyen Trung immediately waved his hand. It's okay, it doesn't take much effort anyway. Just solve it all at once. The evil snake was silently observing Nguyen Trung's appearance at this moment. Sure enough, it doesn't take much effort to solve a difficult problem. It seems that we need to re-evaluate the Demon Lord's strength. The next second he walked to Yuan Zhong's side and continued, in Xueligo's territory, there is a forest in which there is a towering tree called the Golden Tree. Every night when the sky turns dark, this tree will emit an extremely dense aura mixed with illusionary chi. Not only can it cause hallucinations, it can also unconsciously absorb the magical power of those who step inside until they turn into a dry husk. Xueligao also stood up and added, if that was all, it would be fine to designate that area as a forbidden zone. But what's worse is that in that forest, there is a group of demons that are completely unaffected by the miasma that is the Yin Wolf. Back then, they pretended to submit to the powerful strength of the great demon lord. But in recent years, relying on the Golden Tree, they have begun to become restless. If the great demon lord abdicates, they will definitely take the opportunity to rebel. Listening to the story, Nguyen Trung turned his face to look at Cat. Cat, what do you think? Looking at Cat's thoughtful expression, Nguyen Trung gritted his teeth in anger. What are you thinking? Cat immediately spoke his mind. I was thinking just now, there were so many beautiful women, but you weren't moved at all. You're not impotent, are you? Nguyen Trung clasped his hands and radiated his Buddhist halo, standing in front of Cat. The old monk just lost his worldly desires after being gang-raped. Immediately after that, Nguyen Trung covered his mouth and whispered to Cat, so does this gas cause any harm to me? Cat immediately answered, in your original world, smoking is more harmful than that gas. After hearing that, Nguyen Trung immediately put on an excited and smug expression and looked forward. Then I'm relieved. His face was filled with joy and excitement. He laughed loudly and waved his hand. Then lead the way, let's go. Nguyen Trung was extremely happy inside. No difficulty can stop me from retiring anymore. Be brave and don't be afraid of difficulties. Let's charge forward. After a while of moving Nguyen Trung, the generals and Tai Nguyet arrived at the Golden Tree. Tai Nguyet showed a worried expression and reached out to grab Nguyen Trung's shirt. Last time letting the Lord go into danger alone was Tai Nguyet's fault. This time Tai Nguyet really doesn't dare to let the Lord go into danger alone again. I believe the three great officials will think the same. The generals were extremely confused at this moment, staring at Tai Nguyet. The three of them immediately shouted in unison, we are willing to follow the great devil. In their hearts they were already secretly thinking, if you want to die, don't drag us along as a back cushion like this. Nguyen Trung still didn't care. He walked forward step by step with an excited expression. It's okay, no one can stop me from retiring. With just one stomp of his foot, Nguyen Trung created a powerful energy field with an overwhelming aura that overwhelmed everything around him. Long Tai Nguyet's eyes lit up as she attentively observed Nguyen Trung's majestic appearance. Seeing the powerful strength of Nguyen Trung, the evil snake was extremely frightened. A hateful, powerful strength fighting against a demon lord like that. Do I have that kind of ability? Nguyen Trung at this moment was still calmly and leisurely, walking step by step forward to get closer to the Golden Tree, surrounded by an overwhelming and powerful aura. After a few steps, Nguyen Trung finally stood under the giant Golden Tree. Nguyen Trung just put his hand on the Golden Tree and it broke into many pieces. His face was a little confused after breaking the Golden Tree, immediately turned to look at his generals with a confused look. He tried to explain, why is it cracked like that? I just touched it lightly and I didn't know about this thing. The generals saw the scene before their eyes and bowed down in worship. The mighty lord, Tai Nguyet, bowed down to the ground. Nguyen Trung also froze his eyes, crying tears of happiness and satisfaction. Although I don't know what happened, I can finally retire. Suddenly, a voice rang out, breaking the happy atmosphere of Nguyen Trung. Not right, Lord Demon. Please wait a moment. The next second, Yan Hong knelt down and clasped his hands respectfully in front of Nguyen Trung. Yan Hong still has one more thing to say. Nguyen Trung was a bit angry and thought to himself, this idiot better really have something to say. Otherwise... Suddenly, Yan Hong raised his hands to cover his face and cried miserably, making everyone extremely surprised. Nguyen Trung felt that something was wrong and showed an extremely worried expression. Why did this fearless Yan Hong start crying in front of me? What's going on? Yan Hong then showed a pitiful look and the expression of a child. My business. My skin is dry and not smooth. Please help me. Nguyen Trung saw Yan Hong's appearance and was both angry and scared of the pervert in front of him. "You motherfucker, get lost now. You're pretending to be a big baby again, you bastard." Finally, Nguyen Trung has solved all the problems that are dangerous to the demon race. Heh, this demon race world is just this ordinary. At this rate, if I think of another plan, I can go find my retirement sanctuary. Nguyen Trung thought about his fairy-like retirement days. After catching this big fish, I will become a level 5 angler. After thinking about that prospect, Nguyen Trung stared at his subordinates. "Do you have any place that can be used as a retirement place to farm?" The subordinates below immediately pointed out an area and introduced it to Nguyen Trung. "Report to the Demon Lord. The mountain next to our Zhui Li Go clan belongs to the lava fire demon. It is the best place. The lava hot spring there is great for soaking, but it is not as good as the hot spring that the Demon Lord made." Hearing about the lava area, Nguyen Trung pondered. "It's like this, the seeds that were just planted in the ground could be roasted right away." Nguyen Trung then said to his generals, "What else is this place? What good is it?" The evil snake clasped its hands respectfully. "The place that the Demon Lord said can grow rice is probably only found in the human world. I heard that there are 2 countries and some holy lands that can grow 1,000-year-old lingji and many kinds of 100-year-old fruits." Nguyen Trung's eyes were shining brightly as he stared at the evil snake. "Is it real?" The evil snake stood below with a respectful expression. "Of course it's real. It's just that there's still one thing before that I'm afraid needs the Demon Lord to decide." Nguyen Trung began to exude an overwhelming aura with an extremely terrifying gaze, staring at evil snake. "What else is going on? Didn't we already settle the matters in your territory?" Evil snake bowed a little fearfully. "But sir, there's still an arsenal. We're really helpless." Nguyen Trung glanced at Cat Cat. "I still have that toy. What is the origin of this armory?" Cat Cat immediately explained. "There are 5 types of magic weapons in the armory: saber sword, spear whip, and shield. They were once the magic weapons collected during the era of the 5 great demon kings of the demon race." Cat Cat again displayed the system with the image. "After your spirit was defeated, they refined and suppressed it in the armory." Nguyen Trung finished listening, stunned, staring at Cat Cat. "So why not just leave them in the armory?" Cat Cat continued to speak on the side. "Do you think they are ordinary demonic weapons? These 5 magical weapons all have the spirit that can transform into spirit. Furthermore, they have already formed a demonic bond with you while being refined by you. If you leave these 5 magical weapons, I'm afraid another battle of blood and wind will appear." Nguyen Trung absent-mindedly pointed at Cat Cat. "We can't always carry them with us, right?" Cat Cat leaned against the system panel and looked at Nguyen Trung. "Then that's not it. The demonic energy will be like this because the main reason is that the leading sword spirit among them does not submit to you." Nguyen Trung listened and gritted his teeth in anger. "Why didn't I defeat it and refine it? What part of it is it that doesn't accept?" Cat Cat sat beside him and slowly answered Nguyen Trung's question. "Because they are made of flesh and blood. Once you leave, the demonic energy will kill everyone regardless of gods or demons, until this world is destroyed." Evil Snake was still kneeling down below with a worried expression. Demon Lord Nguyen Trung stared at Evil Snake. "So what do you think we should do?" Then he put on a cunning face and frowned at Nguyen Trung. "I think if I let the great Demon Lord bring the most ferocious sword spirit among them to suppress, then the other demons will not dare to be reckless anymore." Long Tai Nguyet, standing beside him, immediately showed a worried expression as he looked at Nguyen Trung. "Master, it's impossible. This magic sword was created from a piece of magic stone when the world was still in its infancy. The strength of the sword spirits among them is absolutely not inferior to ours. They might even be stronger. If we carry it with us, who knows if it will betray us or not?" The evil snake still clasped his hands respectfully and stared at Nguyen Trung. "If you follow the Demon Lord day and night, who can harm the Demon Lord? To deal with the great Demon Lord, one can only use his own strength." Hearing this, Long Tai Nguyet showed an embarrassed expression, covering her face in shame. "This is too much day and night." Nguyen Trung stood next to her and glanced at Tai Nguyet. Forget it. Stop blabbering. Quickly lead the way, I'll go see first." The snake captain put on a sinister face and clasped his hands respectfully in obedience. "Yes, your subordinate, I obey." After a while of moving, Nguyen Trung finally arrived at the armory. In front of him was a 3-headed crazy dog. Seeing the 3-headed husky in front of Nguyen Trung, he opened his mouth in shock. This is... The 3-headed husky saw Nguyen Trung and immediately jumped over happily. In a flash, he shrank back to the appearance of a puppy, wagging its tail in front of Nguyen Trung. Nguyen Trung was quite surprised at this moment. He reached out to pick up the 3-headed husky and observed it carefully. After a while, he showed an expression of delight as he petted his pet dog. The evil snake stood right behind Nguyen Trung, clasping his hands respectfully. "This is the 3-headed dog that you left here to guard the armory. But later I decided to leave here a subordinate named Oh Thang. Mr. Thang also flew over with the appearance of a black crow and gently landed on Evil Snake's hand. As soon as it landed, it bowed respectfully. Your Majesty, Your Majesty. Your Majesty's blessings are as great as the Eastern Sea, and your longevity is as great as the Southern Mountains. Here one can also hear the story of the great demon lord who encouraged the army to reform the army of Kai Long. My admiration for him is like a river that flows endlessly. Nguyen Trung heard Oh Thang's long words and immediately held its beak tightly. Okay, stop flattering me. You can shut your mouth now. Nguyen Trung then looked straight at the arsenal. Okay, let me see what's so great about this arsenal. Evil Snake immediately led the way, pushing open the door of the armory. The light just opened and the evil spirit inside spread out, making everyone surprised. The Evil Snake felt the aura and was extremely confused. The murderous aura was so intense and terrifying. Nguyen Trung still showed a leisurely and calm expression without the slightest fear. The next moment he rolled his eyes and looked at the Evil Snake. Evil Snake, can you stand it? Even though they're evil, you can't really be like that. You see, you worked too hard before and didn't exercise your body right. Hearing Nguyen Trung's words, Evil Snake was extremely angry and glanced at Nguyen Trung. Nguyen Trung simultaneously entered inside and thoughtfully observed the 5 types of demonic energy in front of him. Then he glared fearfully at the 5 types of demonic energy. Who is the boss in this group? Cat standing next to him pointed forward. It's that sword. Immediately Nguyen Trung swung his leg and kicked the sword hard. Angrily pointed his finger and shouted, "Fuck you! You're the brat who doesn't accept me, right?" At this moment the chains surrounding the magic sword suddenly broke. The demon sword also emitted a terrifying, dense demonic aura that directly confronted Nguyen Trung. He was a bit confused at the same time, staring at the magic sword. This sword is so big and its anger is so strong. It's really like the older the ginger, the spicier it is. Suddenly a hand reached out and touched Nguyen Trung's shoulder, making him extremely surprised. That was Long Tai Nguyet. She felt worried and rushed over using her ice power to shout loudly, "Don't be rude!" Nguyen Trung Dong's face was also pressed against Tai Nguyet's giant chest. Tai Nguyet, I can't breathe anymore. Long Tai Nguyet was extremely embarrassed and quickly stepped aside. "Excuse me, let me release the Lord." And Nguyen Trung was just released and immediately breathed heavily. I almost suffocated to death. Seeing the appearance of the Yuanzhong demon's sword, a thought began to arise. I was wondering what kind of character it was. It seems that it was just like that. That year's defeat was indeed because my host was too weak. The demon sword then floated in mid-air, emitting a dense demonic aura filled with murderous intent, in which there was a stream of demonic aura circulating to Nguyen Trung's arm. The intense killing intent transmitted to a thought of sword spirit that made Nguyen Trung confused. "I want to massacre, take me, and leave this world alone in that massacre." A stream of demonic aura surrounded Nguyen Trung's body, floating in mid-air. The generals and Long Tai Nguyet were extremely worried. "Lord Demon, Lord, what's going on?" Nguyen Trung continued to move towards the demon sword. The surrounding area exuded the strong aura of a demon lord. "Hurry up and grab me, be controlled by me, then destroy this entire world in an instant." Nguyen Trung reached out to touch the magic sword in front of him. Ha, give me all your magic power." Yan Hong was now extremely frightened and stared at Nguyen Trung. Oh no, the great demon lord is about to be swallowed. In a flash, the magic sword was thrown to the ground by Nguyen Trung, making him panic. What is this move useless against him? In a few short seconds, Nguyen Trung immediately rushed over and gave the demon sword a kick with an angry attitude. "Do you think you are Cat? Can you change that cheating technique? Do you think I'm a cheating software? Can you change to a fresher technique?" The demon sword now had to cry out and endure Nguyen Trung's torture. The generals and Long Tai Nguyet, standing next to them, also had to open their mouths in surprise at the current situation. Nguyen Trung then pointed at the magic sword. "If I give this toy away, I can temporarily retire, right?" The generals were still stunned, staring at Nguyen Trung's appearance, then immediately clasped hands respectfully and shouted in unison, "The great demon, venerable, the mighty and invincible Ming." Hearing the shouts in front of Nguyen Trung, felt a bit disgusted. "Okay, stop flattering me. Now I just want to retire." Immediately after that, Nguyen Trung happily walked to the border of the human territory, with an extremely excited expression. Although the problem of the arsenal has not been completely resolved, I can finally throw the position of Demon Lord to Yan Hong. First, I will go out for a walk to find a good place to retire, then come back to officially announce my abdication. After a moment of thinking, he turned his head and looked at Tai Nguyet. "Ah, that's right, Tai Nguyet. Isn't it a bit too dazzling for us to come to the human world?" Tai Nguyet looked at Nguyen Trung's appearance and clothes with an evil expression. "Simple clothes are too humiliating for the Lord. Tai Nguyet doesn't see any problem with it." Nguyen Trung tightly held the spirit sword and glanced behind him. I came here to find a sacred place to retire, not to travel to the border. Moreover, 2 or 3 parts of this human territory have been annexed by the demon race. People won't scream and beat me when I dress like this. Right, can I change to a more convenient outfit and hide the demonic energy on my body and also this demon sword? Hearing that Tyne Guyet raised her hand to stroke her chin and thought, let me think about it. In the blink of an eye, Tyne Guyet used her divine power to create a set of clothes and a few necessary items to appear before Nguyen Trung. This is the hidden magic pill in this medicine bottle that can temporarily suppress the demonic energy in your body, causing only 10% of the demonic energy in your body to remain. Ordinary people basically cannot detect it. And this is Longvu brocade. Every stitch of this silk is infused with my magic power, which is originally used to restrain unruly monsters. So wrapping it around the magic sword can also limit the magic energy of the magic sword. Nguyen Trung's eyes lit up in admiration for Long Tyne Guyet. Are you Doraemon? You can do everything. Not long after, Nguyen Trung put on a luxurious outfit that radiated a sparkling aura. Then he took out a hidden demon emperor pill from the pill bottle and put it in his mouth. As soon as Nguyen Trung swallowed the pill, he felt an extremely comfortable feeling. Is this kidney treasure? After eating it, I feel much more comfortable. Why is the effect so good? Long Tyne Guyet heard the devil's compliment and immediately knelt down respectfully. Thank you for your compliment, Lord. Tyne Guyet will also change her clothes. What do you think, Lord? Phai. Hearing this, Nguyen Trung was a bit speechless, his expression a bit awkward. Then Nguyen Trung used Longvu brocade to wrap around the magic sword. This way we can suppress this unruly 6th magic sword, right? As soon as he finished wrapping it, Nguyen Trung immediately raised his hand to grip the sword and raised it high. The hot feeling of the magic sword made Nguyen Trung panic a bit, so he threw it on the ground. Fuck, it's too hot. Seeing Yuan Zhong's appearance, the demon sword laughed loudly. Ha ha ha, you're really courting death. You suppressed your own magic power to this state and still think you can suppress me. Wait, I will kill you within 3 days and throw away all your bones. The temperature of the demon sword has now increased to 200 degrees deadly hot. Tyne Guyet was angry. Her eyes were red. She gritted her teeth. Master, let me take this rude guy away. Nguyen Trung immediately raised his hand to signal. Wait a minute. Tyne Guyet, quickly, do you have any mushrooms or chicken wings rolled in them? Bring them here, Nguyen Trung said as he quickly removed the Longvu brocade that was wrapping the magic sword. Tyne Guyet also used her divine power to summon countless meats. There are none of the ones the Lord mentioned, but there are many other types of meats. Then Nguyen Trung excitedly showed a perverted face. It's okay as long as there's meat. You despicable guy, don't scream. I'll have to let you apply oil to make a grill later. Markim now showed fear and shouted loudly, wanting to run away. No, don't come here. After a short while, Nguyen Trung had a full meal next to him, was the magic sword covered in grease. He looked towards the magic sword and laughed happily. Thank you. I didn't expect it. Coming here, I can still eat a table full of grilled meat. Just retiring gave me a big surprise. It's true that I chose to retire correctly. Then he glanced towards Tyne Guyet. Within a radius of more than 10 miles, there isn't a single house. If we fly straight there, it would be a bit ostentatious. Tyne Guyet, look around and see if there's any place nearby where we can rest. Tyne Guyet pondered, raised her hand to the middle of her forehead, and began to use her divine power to sense there is a cave nearby, but please wait a moment. Lord, let me handle it first. Nguyen Trung leaned against a large tree and waved his hand, signaling, just go, remember to be safe. Suddenly, Nguyen Trung's stomach hurt a little and kept growling. He stared at his stomach with a confused expression. Oh shit, I ate too much. Nguyen Trung quickly found an empty space to sit on and took off his pants. I have to go to the bathroom first. Than Ma Kiem looked at Nguyen Trung's appearance and thought, Demon Lord, oh Demon Lord, I have accepted such a heavy responsibility, and finally I have the opportunity to seize it. While Nguyen Trung was relieving himself, the demon sword took the opportunity to sneak attack him. The next second he used his magic power to rush towards Nguyen Trung and shouted loudly, go die! At this moment, Nguyen Trung released a rainbow fart into the magic sword. The last demon sword was the one who inhaled the product package and fell into a state of panic because of inhaling the poisonous gas. Damn, what is this? It stinks to death. Nguyen Trung glanced at the demon sword in confusion. Why did you come here? You can't be used for grilling anymore. After inhaling the rainbow fart packet, the magic sword foamed at the mouth and lay down in a corner. Damn bastard, your fart stinks. That night, Nguyen Trung temporarily rested in a cave in the middle of the forest. Nguyen Trung was still pensively looking at the magic sword, thinking, why do you think it can't radiate heat anymore? Tyne Guyet stood beside her dumbfounded and answered, Tyne Guyet thinks this magic sword has entered a deep sleep. Nguyen Trung glanced at Tai Nguyet with a bit of confusion. Why is that? Because yesterday we used it to grill meat. Tai Nguyet also didn't know how to explain this matter. Tai Nguyet is stupid. Tai Nguyet doesn't know. Nguyen Trung held the magic sword tightly and moved forward. Forget it, forget it. Maybe yesterday we grilled too much meat. Let's take it out for some fresh air. Oh, you've worked hard. Yesterday I was so full that I forgot to wash. Next time I'll definitely wash it and wipe it on the tree trunk. After cleaning, Nguyen Trung carefully observed the magic sword. Not bad. It's pretty clean. When it wakes up and sees that it's clean, it will probably be a little happier. It seems like there's still some grease left. Let me shake it dry for you. Nguyen Trung finished speaking and swung his sword forward with an eager expression. Suddenly he accidentally slashed out a sword energy that shot straight through the sky, making him panic a bit. Fuck, why did you swing out a sword energy like that? Oh no! At the same time, nearby a group of people were gathered standing on a mountaintop. The appearance of a girl being oppressed is a bit bewildered. Her breathing is somewhat rapid. She is Nu Tran Hat, daughter of the head of the Tien Ngu Mon sect. The crowd surrounding her put on a cunning face and stared at her. Who's there, my little junior sister? Tell me, why do you have to suffer like this? If your face is injured, I think senior brother will be heartbroken. This person is the deputy head of the Tien Ngu Sect Ngu Vu Duong. Tran Nhat angrily shouted at the same time, "Stop pretending, you are a hypocrite. My father normally doesn't treat you badly, but just because of fighting for the position of sect leader, you dare to join hands with your eldest brother to assassinate my father." Vu Duong raised his hand to show his eyes, staring at Tran Nhat. "How can you say that, my little junior sister? I remember in the temple, there is a very good word. Let me think about what it is called. That's right, that's right. You guys, this is Than Quan Trax." One hand holding his sword tightly with an angry expression. "I despise you, you Than Quan. Surely even my younger brother, you are truly a good disciple of our royal gate." Vu Duong showed a cunning face and a sinister smile. "Junior sister, don't praise me like that. I'll be too arrogant. There's no other way who told your father to give birth to a good son born with such a strange bone. If we disciples can't stand it, then we have to inherit this sect. Junior sister, you know everyone in the Imperial sect knows my feelings for you. As long as you obediently follow me, I guarantee that you won't harm a single hair and return to the Imperial sect. You will still be the young lady of the Imperial sect. Who knows, your younger brother might even be able to keep his life. At most, he'll just be bedridden." Tran Nhat quickly used his sword to push Vu Duong's hand aside. Then she put on an angry face and stared at Vu Duong. "You want me to come back and then let you guys declare to the outside world that you are the successor to the throne? Stop dreaming. Even if I die, I will not let your plot succeed. You sinister villains are not worthy to touch the flag of our royal gate." Vu Duong sighed thoughtfully. "So if you don't agree, then there's no other way." He started to show a despicable expression filled with anger as he shouted, "Hurry up and kill that brat, then break Nu Tran Hat's limbs and leave him a breath for me to enjoy first." Tran Nhat glared at the despicable villains in front of him and shouted in anger, "Nu Vu Vuong, you will not die a good death." Suddenly Tran Nhat opened her eyes wide and discovered something was rushing towards him. The next second, a sword energy streaked across. It finished off the group of villains led by Wu Yang. In a short time, they were all completely killed. Vu Duong was extremely confused when he was attacked by a strange sword energy. "What is this?" At this moment, Nguyen Trung was attentively watching his sword energy path. "The sword energy that passes through this forest probably won't hurt anyone, right?" Seeing his subordinates just killed by a sword, energy Vu Duong trembled a bit in fear. You really have helpers. Who dares to stop my royal gate from acting?" After saying a few words, he was so scared that he ran away screaming madly, "You just wait. You dare to interfere in our royal gate's business. You will definitely regret it. We will make you die with your eyes open." Tran Nhat looked around in confusion. Which immortal's trick is this? It must be some immortal who could not bear this situation and came to help. It seems that our lives are not over yet. I will definitely ask this immortal to come out of the mountain to help. Back to Nguyen Trung's side, he was still confused, shaking the sword to wake up. "Hey, are you awake yet? If you're awake, then say something. What happened when you swung the sword energy just now?" Cat standing next to him covered his mouth and whispered into Nguyen Trung's ear, "Don't call anymore. This sword hasn't woken up yet. There's a righteous person coming to you. You should be careful." Nguyen Trung heard and was surprised. Why am I being targeted? As soon as I arrived in the human world, their investigative abilities are too perverted. Tran Nhat also ran to the place and waved his hand. "Sir, please stop." Nguyen Trung was ready to run away, but suddenly he heard the word expert and turned to look at Tran Nhat. "Expert? What do you mean, are you calling me?" Tran Nhat hurriedly ran to kneel before Nguyen Trung with a miserable look. "Of course it's you. I saw you earlier on the cliff using your sword energy to kill them. You must be a hidden expert from the outside world. Nguyen Trung hurriedly ran over and waved his hand to help Tran Nhat stand up. No, it's not me. I didn't. You stand up first. Then said, and Nguyen Trung's heart was a bit panicked. Fuck, my identity hasn't been revealed yet, right? I just want to be humble to find a place to retire. I just arrived and don't want to be dragged into your strange dispute. After a while, Tran Nhat also told Nguyen Trung the whole story. That's roughly how it went. My eldest senior brother is the adopted son that my father adopted. I didn't expect them to join forces to harm my father, to take over the position of sect leader. Now they want to chase and kill me and my younger brother. They even cast a demon on Huang Min. Ma Kiem at this time also took the opportunity to absorb the demonic energy on Huang Min's body. This dog demon king first ambushed me, then he took advantage of the moment when I was unconscious to throw out the remaining demonic energy on my body. Hateful. Luckily this child is covered in demonic energy. Wait until I finish absorbing it, and I will take your life, you dog demon king. Turning back to Nguyen Trung, he was trying to help Tran Nhat stand up. I also sympathize with your situation, but I really want to, but can't help with this. I think you should still find someone else. Feeling the demonic aura radiating, Nguyen Trung was a bit surprised and glanced at the demon sword. The demon sword was now laughing excitedly. Ha ha ha, this time no one can stop me anymore. Nguyen Trung quickly used Longvu brocade to wrap around the magic sword. Oh my, why did I forget to dress you? Tran Nhat was bewildered looking at Nguyen Trung's appearance. Sir, this is... Huang Min also completely recovered his expression, slightly surprised. Sister, the demon on my body seems to have been removed, right? Hearing his younger brother's words, Tran Nhat's eyes lit up with joy and ran to stand in front of Nguyen Trung. Thank you, Master, for saving my younger brother. I am truly grateful. Nguyen Trung was a bit bewildered as he stared at the woman standing in front of him. Hey, I see you might have misunderstood something. Tran Nhat showed her sexiest appearance and pleaded in a voice. My sect's affairs, as long as you are willing to help, I hope you will. Tran Nhat, I would like to use my body to repay you. Suddenly, Longtai Nguyet's voice rang out with anger, making both of them extremely surprised. It can't be like this. You can't repay me with your body. You should give up. Inner anger and jealousy. Damn it, I just went to clean up the cave a bit, and there was green tea to seduce the Lord. Nguyen Trung immediately pointed at Longtai Nguyet and introduced her to Tran Nhat. This is my closest maid. With a bewildered look, Nguyen Trung stared at the woman in front of him. There's no need to repay me with my body for this. Suddenly, the system's voice and Cat's announcement appeared. The mission is to brainwash the human sects and incite internal conflicts between sects. The main mission of the villain system has been opened and cannot be missed. Cat then leaned closer to Nguyen Chung's ear and whispered, "Let's do it, my boy. Keep it up." After the system mission announcement, Cat showed an extremely despicable expression as he looked towards Nguyen Trung. Suddenly given a troublesome task, Nguyen Trung was so angry that he spat out large mouthfuls of blood. What do you mean? Nguyen Trung continued to look angry and stared at Cat. Are you kidding me? Cat crossed her arms and glanced at Nguyen Trung with a smug look. I'm not. I don't have it. Sir, don't talk nonsense. Nguyen Trung frowned, looking annoyed. What if I don't do the main mission? Cat looked at Nguyen Trung with a sinister expression. Do you remember when you died? The system will make you experience the same pain again, but I don't know if you can survive. Nguyen Trung clenched his fists, his face showing anger and indignation. Bastard, you are so vicious and sinister. Tran Nhat saw Nguyen Trung's angry expression and waved his hands in fear. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that Senior is a womanizer. Tran Nhat quickly knelt down in front of Nguyen Trung. It's just that right now, I have nothing but this body. Nguyen Trung immediately reached out to help Tran Nhat stand up. Okay, you stand up first. Don't just hug my thigh. I'll help you, okay? But I have one condition. Tran Nhat's expression gradually became joyful, looking intently at Nguyen Trung. If you have any conditions, just say them. As long as you are willing to help my sect, I can fulfill any condition. Nguyen Trung immediately raised his hand to indicate, it's true that I can only help you lure away some troops, but cannot take action. What happened just now has made my superiors a bit dissatisfied. If I continue to take action, not only will I be implicated, but you will also be implicated. Tran Nhat was bewildered, his face a bit confused. What are those people above? Who else are they? Nguyen Trung pointed to the sky with a deep and domineering expression. Those are the people up there. You understand what I mean, right? Tran Nhat's eyes widened as she looked up at the sky with a puzzled look. Up there. Could it be in the sky? Is he an immortal? It turns out that the immortal realm really exists. This immortal's previous actions had already broken the rules of the immortal realm. Tran Nhat attentively looked at Nguyen Trung's appearance and thought to himself, I forced such a person, but you still agreed to help me. Tran Nhat showed a shy and embarrassed expression staring at Nguyen Trung. Thank you, immortal, for agreeing to help me. The local officials of the human world are quite intimidating, but it's not enough to make me kneel, right? Nguyen Trung stood there scratching his head. I don't know what she's thinking. It's like he's talking about chicken and she's talking about duck. Next line. Nguyen Trung smiled and looked at Tran Hut. Nothing. Anyway, it's just a casual thing. Why are you kneeling anymore? If you kneel anymore, I'll shorten my life. Nguyen Trung's only thought was to retire quickly to solve this trouble. By then he can find a treasure land, so he can retire. The first leg's cheeks were red, looking attentively at Nguyen Trung. That's right, forgive me for being so rash as to not ask the immortal's identity yet. Long Tai Nguyet raised her hand to indicate, of course it's a famous devil. Nguyen Trung immediately covered Long Tai Nguyet's mouth with a bewildered look. Tran Nhat looked at Nguyen Trung bewildered and full of questions. What ghost? What happened next? Nguyen Trung held Long Tai's mouth tightly. Nguyet shyly turned to look at Tran Hut. Miss, you heard wrong. My last name is Jiang. My name is Jiang. Nguyen Trung. Seeing Tran Hat's bewildered appearance, Nguyen Trung raised his hand to signal Long Tai Nguyet. I cannot reveal my identity in the human world, so from now on I will use this alias. You must remember it, do you understand? Right after that, Nguyen Trung clenched his fist and walked forward with an excited expression. Okay, then let's go. Tran Nhat smiled, shyly clasped her hands respectfully. Thank you for your kindness. Nguyen Trung heard and hugged his chest, heartbroken, and cried inwardly. I knew something strange would happen. I am truly an unjust person. What's wrong, Immortal Nguyen Trung? Is there something that doesn't feel right? Immortal Nguyen Trung. It's okay. Don't call me an unjust immortal anymore. Then the three of them started their journey to help Tran Hut. Scene changes to the front of Nguvu Duong's palace, located inside the sect. At this time he received a letter from Nguyen Trung. His face was a bit bewildered. He carefully read each word inside. Inside the letter were clearly stated threats and Nguyen Trung's specific location. After reading the letter, his face was filled with fear and his whole body was trembling. Ngu Than Kuyen is still in seclusion. I haven't told anyone about today. There, except for the expert only, that bitch is still alive. The only one who can freely come to my mansion is that expert, after all on that bitch's body. If the Imperial Guard comes out of the gate and sees that I am not doing my job properly, I will die. That wise man is right. A true man must have his head in the sky and his feet on the ground. Whether he lives or dies, he must risk it. Nguyen Trung was sitting in the middle of a cold ice cave, with each cold wave coming, making Nguyen Trung extremely uncomfortable. If I had known, I wouldn't have come earlier to let Nguyet pass on the news before coming. If it continues like this, I'm going to freeze to death. Cat, standing next to him, immediately informed Nguyen Trung. You've arrived, show off your demeanor as a master. In a flash, Nguyen Trung radiated an immortal aura filled with energy and a majestic appearance. Vu Duong just arrived. His face was extremely worried, as expected of a master. This is the extremely cold pond that I used to train the body of my disciples. Even I was shivering, but the master was not affected at all. At the same time, Nguyen Trung glared at Vu Duong and frowned, saying loudly, You're here. With a bewildered look, Vu Duong immediately bowed and saluted. This humble person has arrived. I wonder what advice you have, master. Nguyen Trung immediately raised his hand and gestured. What do you think after reading my words? Vu Duong clasped his hands in respect and looked attentively at Nguyen Trung. You are right. A great man with his head in the sky and his feet on the ground still hopes that a wise man will show him a way to live. Nguyen Trung thought to himself, so I've successfully trapped him. Nguyen Trung continued to stare at Vu Duong, who was gradually approaching him. You still have the understanding that my sword intentionally did not hit you. Do you know why? Vu Duong's voice was trembling and stuttering. This little person does not know. Nguyen Trung pointed at Vu Duong with a smug expression. That's because you have talent and will have great opportunities, and I am someone who respects talents. Vu Duong just finished listening and looked towards Nguyen Trung, then quickly knelt down on the ground and continuously kowtowed and cried, Thank you, master. You really have a keen eye. You are my master. Faced with Vu Duong's crazy kowtowing, Nguyen Trung stood by and said, Why don't you go into multi-level marketing? You seem to be very suitable for this job. Immediately after that, Vu Duong summoned all of his subordinates and disciples inside the sect and made an announcement. I have called you all here today because I have an important matter to discuss with you. Today, I have decided to start my life over again to correct my mistakes. The subordinates below were confused and discussed. Correct my mistakes. Start my life over again. What did we do anything wrong? Why don't we know what kind of background the young man behind us has? Vu Duong then raised his hand towards Nguyen Trung and said loudly, I know everyone is wondering. Next, I will let this expert tell everyone the reason why. Nguyen Trung began to speak in front of the crowd. Comrades, being a disciple of the second sect leader is actually not easy, right? You guys are the first to be beaten and killed. When it comes to dividing the money, you guys always get the most. When there are good things, you always have to pick up their leftovers. Even if it's a beauty, you have to wait for them to finish choosing before it's your turn. Days like this, can you guys still stand it? Don't you want to be promoted, get a raise, become a high-ranking official, marry Bai Fu Mei, and reach the pinnacle of life? The sect's disciples pondered for a moment in anger and indignation. Happy in a few seconds, their faces changed. Their excitement grew with the crowd's excitement. Chao Fu Suai, I want to become Chao Fu Suai. Seeing that his plan had been a complete success, he immediately put on a smug expression. It seems that the speeches in modern society that were used in ancient times are also very useful. Immediately after that, Nguyen Trung continued to speak. Okay, it seems that everyone is intelligent. Next, I will give you a great opportunity. In a few days, the daughter of the former head of the Ngu Tran Nhat sect will lead her guards to counterattack the Ngu Mon sect. At that time, we just need to wait and let Ngu Than Kien fight her to the death. At that time, we will be the fisherman who suppresses Ngu Than Kien and saves Ngu Tran Nhat. At that time, not only can we legitimately inherit the sect, we can also bring the beauty back. There is no way we cannot do this business of killing two birds with one stone. Hearing Nguyen Trung's instructions, Vu Duong happily knelt down and performed the ceremony. Thank you for your guidance, Great Master. The disciples of the sect behind him also knelt down and respectfully performed a ceremony before Nguyen Trung. Seeing that everything was done, Nguyen Trung happily showed a satisfied face and shouted, Long Tai Nguyet. Immediately, Long Tai Nguyet used divine power to fly to Nguyen Trung's side. Master, please sit still. Nguyen Trung glanced down at his subordinates and embarrassed sect disciples. Ngu Tran Nhat, I can only help up to here. In a few short seconds, Long Tai Nguyet had carried Nguyen Trung and flown away in front of all the sect disciples. The disciples below looked blankly at the figure that was gradually flying away. The miracle of the immortal. The scene changes to the Imperial Gate prison, where a sect disciple is guarding the gate. Suddenly, a sword came from somewhere and was placed on his neck, making him extremely surprised. Where are the old sect leader and the sect master's trusted predecessor being held? The guard's face had a bit of panic as he glanced back. It's at the secret door behind the third door in the dark section. As soon as he finished speaking, Ngu Tran Nhat pressed the guard's head to the ground with one hand and killed him with a sword. Then she turned to look at the remaining subordinates with an extremely cold expression. The guards now started to panic and shout, Where are the people? Someone broke into the prison. She is Ngu Tran Nhat. The soldiers inside rushed out and stood in front of Ngu Tran Nhat. Quickly come and surround her. Tran Nhat put on an expressionless face and glanced at his subordinates angrily. The next second he waved her hand and created a powerful aura with a cold gaze, and she stepped forward step by step. Seeing the first leg approaching, the soldiers were a bit scared and shouted, Hurry up and charge, she's the only one left, let's go together. In the blink of an eye, Tran Nhat rushed forward at the speed of light and took down the subordinate in front of him with one move. Then she used his sword to finish off the remaining men, causing them to run away in fear. Faced with the mighty power of the foot, the group of guards screamed in panic and ran away. Run, run, she's too strong, we are not her opponents at all. At this moment, Ngu Tran Nhat threw his sword at the two running away subordinates. With the strength of a strong person in the sect, she only used a few moves to kill all the guards. With cold, emotionless eyes, she proceeded to search each body for the key. With cold, emotionless eyes, she proceeded to search each body for the key. In a short time, she finally found the key to open the prison door and free her father. After getting the ultimate key, continued to go deeper inside to free her people. Her younger brother inside the dungeon saw the familiar figure and shouted in joy. Senior sister is here, that's great. With a hasty look, she quickly opened the prison door and shouted, Hurry up, I'll get everyone out of here. The story of the scene leading to the stone waterfall inside the secret realm of the Royal Gate, located deep in the backyard of the sect. Each torrent of water caused the rocks above to crack and shake with great tremors. Under a hand with a powerful aura, a punch broke the rock into hundreds of pieces. A man with an arrogant appearance, surrounded by domineering aura and the strength of a strong man. At the same time, a subordinate ran in from somewhere with a slightly panicked expression. Sect Master, something's wrong. Ngu Tran Nhat Ko has come to break into the prison. Than Quyen, with an arrogant look, glanced at his subordinates. Where did that trash Vu Duong go? Where are his subordinates? Although he was useless, it's not impossible to prolong it for a while. The subordinates began to tell what was happening. They were like possessed. As soon as they came out of the coal pond, they muttered something about Chao Fu Soai. After that, they locked themselves up. No matter how much they cursed, it was useless. Than Qian's face was angry. He gritted his teeth and shouted loudly, "What a bunch of trash! Leave them alone or not. It doesn't matter, I'll go myself." Turned back to Ngu Tran Hat's side, she was leading all her true disciples to hide inside the forest. Suddenly, from the sky high above, a brilliant sparkling light shone. The next second, a dense stream of air rushed to the position in front of Ngu Tran Hat.